Welcome once again. I think we'll go with the same chapter, uh, that is Introduction to Networking and Internet. I think in the first session we have already seen what are protocols, then computing models and all. Now let's see what is there in this chapter, in this session. Okay, so in this session we are having network configuration. So in this we are having two very important configurations, client server network and peer to peer network. Okay, so this is a diagram for client server network. So there will be a very important computer, we call it as a server. Okay, and you can see these are your clients. Okay, so what do you mean by server is a powerful computer, and client are not that much powerful, because they will be mostly request. They will send the request, and what is the work of the client, sorry, what is the work of the server to fulfill that request. Okay, now let's see what is there in client server based networking. A client server network consists of a group of user oriented PCs called clients that issues the request to the server. So as the name indicates, clients will always request and server will try to fulfill that request. Okay, the server's function on the network is to service this function. So whatever the functions they ask, it will try to fulfill that. Servers are high performance systems. It has faster CPU, more memory, and more disk. As I was telling you, that server has to be more powerful than the other computers. Now they have given some examples like Novell NetWare, Windows NT server are the examples of client-based network. Some common type of servers are like mail server, file server, okay, then fax server and application servers. Okay, so these are the different types of servers. Then most of the time the servers are not are sorry are dedicated, not able to do the tasks that the client machine do. So they are not leaving for them, they will just try to fulfill the needs of the clients or that computers. So I hope you got it. Server is a powerful computers, client is like not that much powerful. They will try to always request or they will ask for the services. Okay, now let's go with peer to peer network. Now in peer to peer network, all the computer, there is no server, there is no client, all are server and all are client. Okay, and so everyone will be treated equal. Okay, so every computer will be treated equal. In peer to peer network consists of group of computers that operates at equal level. Okay, each PC is called as a peer. Now I hope you understand what do you mean by peer here. Peer is a computer. The peer shares the resources, but no dedicated server exists. Okay, now whoever is requesting, that becomes a client, and suppose whoever is fulfilling that service, that becomes a server. So they will exchange their duties sometimes, like suppose if this is asking to him, so this becomes a client and this becomes a server. And in the next scenario, suppose if this computer asks something, so this becomes a client, and if it fulfills the services, then it becomes a server. Okay, so each PC can be a client or a server. Windows or workgroup, Windows 95, 98, Windows NT are some of the examples of peer-to-peer networks. Okay, mostly peer-to-peer networks are in small organization where we have 5-6 PCs and all. So in that case, we can use them as peer. Okay, we can treat them as peer-to-peer networks. Now let's go with a very important thing, that is networks. Very important networks like local area network. Okay, LAN. Okay, we call it as a LAN. LAN is a very important thing. You can see in most of the labs, okay, computer labs, we use a LAN, because I think it saves a lot of thing. Like in suppose in our lab we are having 50 to 60 computers, so we don't require 50 to 60 printers. We require only one printer because that will be shared. So can you see print server is there, mail server, then file servers. So whoever wants to access whatever the data and also they can easily access. So what is LAN? LAN is a local area network, is a group of computers and network communication devices interconnected with a geographical limited area such as building or a campus. So as I was telling you in my lab, so it is in the same building, okay, and if I want to connect computers, or you can say it is a concept of network, okay, so there is a limited geographical area. It's not like a big area, it is a small area, okay. Now there are some characteristics, okay. They transfer data at very high speed, okay. They exist in limited geographical area, okay. Connectivity and resources are managed by company running the LAN, okay. So whatever their rules are there, that will be followed. So these are some of the important characters. Now let's talk about WAN. So many LANs make WAN. So can you see this is one LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3. So everything is like a WAN, okay. In between this there is also between LAN and WAN there is also a concept known as MAN, okay. MAN is metropolitan area. Now the best example of WAN is like wide area network. The best example is like internet, okay. A wide area network interconnects lands. A WAN can be located entirely in the state or a country or around the world. So I think the best example is internet, okay. Then there are some characteristics. They transfer data at a low speed because it has to cover the large area. They exist in unlimited geographical area because as I was telling you, they will be there throughout the around the world. They usually interconnects multiple LANs, so it is a collection of LANs. Connectivity and resources are managed by the third parties such as telephones or cables, or I hope you heard about ISP, that is internet service providers, okay, like BSNL, VSNL and all, okay. So that is about WAN. Now let's go with, this is also a very important topic, that is network applications. So where we use this applications, like where we use networking applications, okay. So email, I think everyone knows about email. In the, I think previous days we used to send the letters through post. Nowadays we don't do anything through post, very few things have been done through post. So what do you mean by email? Email stands for electronic mail. It can service to any size group, from a local work group to a corporation world, okay, corporation world. You can transfer mail smoothly and efficiently all over the world. Email can be transmitted from internet. Some of the email packages are like Microsoft Exchange Server, Novel, Groupwise and Lotus Notes. So these are some of the email servers, you can say, or email packages. So I hope you understood that. Everyone knows about emails, right? Now let's go with voicemail. It enables you to connect your computer to telephone and incorporate telephone voice mail messages with your message uh, with your computers. It is also known as telephony, okay. Whatever the telephone uh, voice voice records are there, that will be transferred to the mail, and this concept is known as telephony, okay. This involves moving voice mail messages from phone to LAN and distribute to the different clients, okay. I hope you got this. Now we are having FTP, that is file transfer protocol. I think protocols, as I was telling you, rules for communication. It is a protocol for sharing files between network. FTP enables user to log on to a remote host. Logged on users can inspect directories, manipulate, execute commands or commands on host. So I think you can say that if you want to do any changes sitting at our home, or suppose if you want to access any of the files from the, it's a concept of internet only. Okay, you can inspect the files, manipulate, execute the commands on the host, that means on the set on the computer which you are working. FTP also has a capability of transferring the files between dissimilar hosts. It's not every time like you should have a same windows, like windows, suppose if I'm having windows 10 and other is having windows 7, and also they can't access internet, it's not like that. Okay, so it's like dissimilar hosts are also okay. Not only windows, suppose if you are having a other OS like Linux or iOS, and different operating systems are there, so that also will do. Okay, then we are having www. I think everyone knows the full form, World Wide Web. It is a vast interconnected library of information and commerce. I think today is the age of internet, and the browsers make it possible. I think everyone knows about browsers, like browsers are like Google Chrome, then Internet Explorer, Opera, Firefox, okay, Mozilla Firefox. So these are your web browsers. Okay, so the web consists of several web pages. Okay, website. Okay, this is a huge variety of web pages. For example, we have a personal homepage, business homepage, directories, okay, search engines, and artistic projects. I think everyone knows about the search engine like Google. Okay, so once the web page is published, it can be accessed by the internet tools known as web browsers. I think I already gave you an example of web browsers like Internet Explorer or Google Chrome and all. Okay, now let's go with e-commerce. Now I think everyone knows that like now it's a very important thing about the concept known as e-commerce. Okay, you can do trading, you can sell anything. I think you might be knowing the websites like OLX. Okay, many websites are there which Amazon and also they can sell the products. India Mart, I think you can buy the products and you can sell the products, so you don't have to actually buy a shop and then do the trading and all. So if you are having your own websites, or if you are not having your own websites also, then also you can sell your product in the market. So let's try to study what is e-commerce. E-commerce stands for electronic commerce. In e-commerce, it is possible to do trading, buy an item just sitting at home. Okay, you can order for item on internet. I think this is 24 into 7, and it's not compulsory that if the market is closed we cannot buy it. You can buy anything at any time from internet. Okay, the number of .com companies have evolved. For example, you can buy a book on Amazon.com. In general, we can say e-commerce is a commerce over internet. Okay, so whatever you want to do on whatever you want to buy, sell, so whatever the trading commerce you want to do, that can be done with internet. And BBS user group. Now what is this BBS? BBS stands for Bulletin Board Service Group. It enables several networks user to communicate and to cooperate when solving a problem through the shared document management. Okay, like one document is there or one file is there, everyone is sharing that, and they are solving the problem. Like nowadays we are having Google Meet, okay, or Zoom. These are your interactive conferencing, screen sharing like we do. Okay, then bulletin boards are the examples of groupware applications. Okay, so I hope now this is the very must requirement of network. Okay, you can share the screen, then interactive conferencing, like if you want to teach something live, that is also possible. Okay, so I think these are the different examples of or network applications like email. Then we have seen about voicemail, then FTP, www, e-commerce, and finally you have BBS. Okay, so I hope you understood this, like different types of networkings, like client server network, peer to peer network, then we have seen LAN, WAN. Okay, then network applications. So I hope you understood, and this also finishes the this chapter, that is introduction to networking and internet. It was a very small chapter, theoretical. I hope you understood. We'll meet in the next session with some other chapter. Thank you.